Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Mike Griffith, Bakersfield, California Motorsports rider. Got Steve Hughes from Kern County Raceway Park with me.
Hey, I was just downloading my TBC mobile app. So
Yeah, I saw
thanks.
that.
That was quick and easy. I mean, I did it in the break, so thanks. Everybody get that.
TBC Mobile, one of many on my phone.
Right on. Well, I mean, I saw the ad there. I'm like, oh, I got to get that.
Yeah.
I got to get that, so thanks.
So you haven't been too busy? Nothing's going on?
No, nothing really.
Kern County
Off
Raceway
season,
Park.
hanging out, just hanging out at the racetrack.
Winter Showdown was 3 weeks ago. It's in the rearview mirror.
That's a
You got
distant
nothing to
memory.
do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty busy out there, is it?
Well, I'm not the busiest racetracks in Kern County. Of course, that honor goes to the Bakersfield Speedway, starting their 72nd season this Saturday night. And, of course, the 4-day March meet, I believe, kind of starts today, right?
Yeah, they're
officially
they
tomorrow.
are. Actually, I was just looking on I saw a video that Dar Hawthorne posted of Chris Crabo doing a run out there testing.
Yeah.
He was out there testing Saturday as well. So yes,
Right on.
there's a test. This is a test day.
Yep.
Tomorrow out there is the first day. It's a test day for Nitro, but all the other classes start their time trials. So it's actually and then it gets going Friday.
And they're parking motorhomes. They're
that was
just
all
getting
yesterday.
ready. Yeah. Oh boy.
So there's a busy weekend of
it's
racing
just
here in Bakersfield.
a great weekend locally, man.
It's
great
a good weekend
locally.
not to have anything going at KCRP.
Yeah, because I'll probably be at both places this weekend. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Before you go to both places this weekend, there's been a little. Now people don't know Kern County Raceway Park is a true motorsports park.
Absolutely.
Half-mile paved oval. Mm-hmm. Actually, .533.
Yeah, well.
With a quarter-mile track and a little
eighth mile on the inside
of that.
Yeah.
A motocross track.
Love that place.
And a now reconfigured third-mile clay oval.
Yeah, if we're looking at some photos right here, we basically took that tricky turns 1 and 2, and John Piker and the crew at the dirt track at KCRP moved that wall back approximately 25 feet from a certain point there. And really created a nice radius. Here are some updates. I think I took this on Friday. A lot of work has been done since Friday afternoon on turns 1 and 2, but that's kind of the layout there, and you can kind of see it now. And I think we've got some overhead shots of what it was. So there's the old configuration, and then we'll slide to the next one. We're going to flip directions, and the new configuration, you can kind of see the old line kind of coming to that point right there in about the middle of the back straightaway.
Well, I think if you look on the dark clay, the dark area shows how tight the track was. It was almost like a U-turn down there in 1 and 2.
It was. That's why we called it tricky turns 1 and 2, and then wide open turns 3 and 4.
The tri-oval.
Yeah, it was kind of an egg-shaped.
It is. It's more of a Pocono type. It's like you've got 3 turns here.
Right. What turn 2?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great shot from up above there. I was talking to John Piker just yesterday, and he said I think they've added 100 feet of wall.
So you had to bring in 100 more feet of wall.
100 more feet of wall there. So
right.
it's 100 feet of wall. That doesn't equate to 100 more feet of track surface. I know guys are like, I got to change my gear. Everybody relax. We're gonna do a little bit of testing, I hope, before that first March 17th date. Get some cars out there and make sure we're still right in that same gear ratio area. But real proud of the guys for getting the work done with all the rain and all of that. I'll have more photos that you can post on your social media, and they'll be posted on our social media as well. But looking real good. That we're going to try to. What we're doing is mirroring turns 3 and 4. So it's a lot better racing.
It's a little more symmetrical.
Absolutely.
And do they still going to enter the track on the back stretch? If you go back to that last slide, Chris. I don't know if we can see it there or not.
Yeah, entry and exit won't change. I mean, that would be a
so it would be at the top of the
undertaking.
screen behind the
right behind the Baco Motorsports logo
is
there.
Still where the entrance
is track
to the
entrance. Yeah, and it's actually going to be a lot better for the cars coming onto the track, and you can kind of see it there at the lower part of that slide where the cars will be going on. It'll be a lot better because the cars that are coming off of turn number 2 are going to actually be a little more straightened out and headed down that back straightaway. So there's going to be much more room up top for cars to enter the track
if you do have to
under
come
race
in
conditions.
after you're having a flat tire.
Absolutely.
Or something,
yeah.
you go out. So that's interesting. And that what's coming up there on March 17th?
March 17th, we'll kick off our second full dirt track season. A-Mods, Hobby Stocks. We'll have the Mod Lights and the Hard Tops will kind of kick off the season. And I know they've got a new sponsor, the Broken Yoke Cafe, for the Hard Tops. So we're excited to have them.
These used to be known as the Okie Bowl.
Yeah, Okie Bowl hard tops.
Hard tops.
And, I'll call them I just listen to what the guys that repair those cars and what they do to those vehicles. They say, hey, you know what? We want to be called Bakersfield hard tops. No problem, man.
Yeah, and that's fine. And these are basically
jalopies from the 40s and 50s. Yeah.
Which back then ran with flat heads.
Yeah.
And now these are all like small block V8s, just the 350 or whatever in there.
Great group of guys.
And a great group of guys, and they're really high center of gravity, if you can imagine. And they started out kind of they did a little racing, but more of a show. But no. These guys race, and they'll go over
full season
once in a while because they
will.
do turn over now and then because
very rarely.
Rarely.
But those guys, all those guys are competitive, and they put on a great show. They have a great following.
And Mark McCaslin has like a bajillion because this was started by, I believe, Walt Ferris.
Yeah, that's true.
The late Walt Ferris. This was his idea.
Yeah.
Started it at Bakersfield Speedway, which was affectionately often referred to as the Okie Bowl.
Correct.
That's why it came up with Okie Bowl hard tops, and now it's just gone to Bakersfield hard tops.
Yeah, and I love seeing those guys, but the A-Mods and the Hobbies and the Mod Lights should put on a great show. I know we've got some former mini dwarf champions moving up into the Mod Lights, so I'm excited to see that. And then our opening night,
and you've got a Mod Light champion.
Yeah,
moving up to the A-Mods.
Yeah,
Mr.
certainly
Jerry Flipple.
Yeah, Jerry Flipple came out and did some practice out there. I actually saw him at the Bakersfield Speedway doing a practice on Facebook Live as well. I think the kid can get around the track pretty good. I don't think there's anything to worry about there.
I talked to him briefly at the Bakersfield Speedway banquet and asked him, because he actually led that race a month ago out there at KCRP. And he started on the pole and he led a little bit and he ran pretty well.
Had a great finish.
And I asked him about that. He said, I said, are they tough to drive? He said, I actually find them easier to drive
than a Mod Light.
The Mod Light. Yeah. And if the Mod Lights are short wheelbase, what is
high
it?
Power.
The 1000 cc motorcycle engine, but high power to weight ratio.
Oh, absolutely.
And that short, twitchy wheelbase, and the mods, of course, have a longer wheelbase. And he said he found it easier to drive. So, interesting.
With David Hayes and that team, I know he's got some great equipment. I know they're very powerful engines. I know that, unless he's running the crate. But right. I think they did drop an open motor in that deal. But yeah, we know he's got good equipment, and he's looks like he's got the talent to match early on in his modified career. So we're looking forward to him. Seeing him on March 17th on that Friday night.
And then you come back on that Thursday night with the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West Napa Auto Parts 150, a Thursday night race for the West Series.
And in the reason why
let's say, what we might want to see them on the dirt. They're going to be on the paved half mile.
Yeah, they are. But the cool thing about this, the way they're starting the season for the K&N Pro Series West, is it's basically 4 races in 7 days. It's the Napa Auto Parts Challenge, the Napa 500 Challenge. There's 500 laps that these drivers and teams are going to run, starting in Tucson at Tucson Speedway in conjunction with the Phoenix weekend for the Xfinity Cup. Then they'll travel to Kern County Raceway early that week. They'll have a test on Wednesday. We'll go racing on Thursday. That's race number 2. And then they'll travel down to Irwindale Speedway for races 3 and 4. For the first time ever, they're doing twin 100-lap features in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, and each one will pay out. So they're considered 2 separate races. So if a driver and a team can win all 4 of those races, equaling 500 laps, that driver's going to win a bonus of $100,000 courtesy of Napa Auto Parts. So it's a big deal. We're proud to be part of that 4-race in 7-day series. I think it's just going to be phenomenal for the series, and it's following the NASCAR West Coast Swing, which could pull out some drivers from the East Coast.
And interesting with that, by the time you get to Irwindale, the equipment's going to be most of these teams have 2 cars. They may be on their second car. Certainly that first race at Irwindale, it's going to be the things that are going to save the equipment. Because this is half-mile racing where things can happen, and all of a sudden you don't have much of a car left.
Hey, I'm more concerned with Tucson. Those guys get 3 and 4 wide on a consistent basis there at Tucson Speedway. I'm excited about the start there. But I'll tell you, with 4 races in 8 days, preparation is key. Those races are going to be won this week and next week and the week leading into that event, making sure your cars are prepped correctly. You do everything that you can to make sure you don't have any mechanical failures or limit those mechanical failures. But the races are going to be won in preparation leading up to that. I mean, 4 races in 8 days, that's a pretty tight schedule in stock car racing.
And if you're looking at some of the favorites,
yeah,
who are you picking?
You know, Gilliland's got to be
Todd
one of
Gilliland.
my favorites. You always got to think about the Sunrise Racing team.
Well prepared,
very well
very
prepared,
well financed.
Man, I'm really
so
hoping.
Bill McAnally Racing.
Yeah, and Bob Brancati Racing,
the Sunrise Race team.
and then Jefferson Pitts Motorsports. You know,
right.
we on display at the Winter Showdown was Greg Pursley's number 7 car. I'm really hoping that they have inked that sponsorship deal with Shangri-La Construction. And the 2-time champ gets back in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
and
Pursley was fast in the
the
super late model in the Winter Showdown
Just had an unfortunate event coming off of turn number 4 and that ended his night, but he was definitely fast and in the top 10 up until that point.
Okay, so it's going to be a busy, and then after the March 23rd, we start rolling into the regular season. When does that begin?
That begins on Saturday night, April 1st. It will be Les Schwab.
You're fooling.
No, I'm not.
You're not kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, Les Schwab Tires Night at the races. You'll see all of our NASCAR divisions and some added attractions. We talked about the trailer drop, right? I mean, that's on the schedule. It says we're dropping a trailer on Saturday night, April 1st, and I'm not fooling about that. But we got to make it bigger and better than the one we did at Mesa Marin, right? So we may drop 2 trailers.
Yeah, if
we're
you
going to have
haven't
to wait
seen
and
it,
see.
Marion Collins sometimes likes to destroy things. The owner of the old Mesa Marin Raceway, and one of his things was he dropped a trailer from an old
a huge crane.
Huge
I mean,
crane, and it was a pretty
100
big sized trailer.
Yeah.
And it got that trailer up in the air and watched the trailer kind of float through the air and then disintegrate when it hit the
It was great.
ground. It was
one of my favorite memories, besides working with birthday boy David Sullivan from Mesa Marin Raceway. So
there you go. Trailer drops on April 1st.
Absolutely.
Can't beat that.
Possibly 2. We're going to find out. We're going to make that decision here in the next week or so.
Just don't get Louis Amestoy's trailer because he's still living in it.
Do we still have that slide?
Yeah,
Because that's a great one.
Somewhere.
I'm sure we do. We do.
Maybe we could use that for the trailer.
Man, I'd love to drop that trailer.
I
would love to drop that trailer. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to be back a little bit with the Auto Club Famoso Raceway segment.